All right, hello everybody. We are back with Superliminal with Jaio. First of two runs for today. So, Jaio, take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jaio. As Toph said, I'm going to be running Superliminal, and then after this, I'm going to be running Portal 2. So we're going to start off with Superliminal Glitchless. Kind of standard glitchless rule set. Don't use glitches. That is not the button that I wanted to press. Good start. Good start. Timing will start as soon as I walk through this door. As soon as I walk through this door here.
All right, let me know when.
Yep. So pretty much as soon as you see me walk through the door, time starts. So I'm going to start holding forward. Now, time starts now. So for those who've never seen Superliminal before, the whole gimmick with the game is that perception is reality. You can pick up objects, and when they visually change size on your screen, they actually change size in the world. This level is pretty much the tutorial for that. You'll notice that you'll see a lot of objects rapidly changing size from small to big to small to big, as well as a couple of extra things like this. Standard glitchless rule set in terms of most games. Don't do any glitches. Not much to explain there. But yeah, this game is split up into 9 levels, each level sort of being fit after a different theme. This first level called Induction is pretty much the only one that's pretty much pure puzzle. The rest of the levels all have some sort of adventure to them, while this one really is just puzzle after puzzle after puzzle after puzzle after puzzle here. But yeah, most of this really is just getting you used to the mechanics, as this resizing mechanic is pretty much the entire game. There is one other level where they introduce a new mechanic, but that won't be for 15 minutes or so. You can also rotate objects by holding down right click, which you'll see me do a little bit. It isn't as useful as you might think. It's only useful in puzzles like that last one. Oh, come on, there we go. You can walk through that wall, or you can sort of push that wall over by hitting that button, just due to how the physics updates. So that's the first level. That was a 204. That's pretty good, I'd say, for not doing a run in God knows how long. So most of the levels are going to start in like that little lobby section. So get used to it. You'll be seeing it a lot. So this level is called Optical. As you could guess by the name, it's all about optical illusions, which we'll be seeing a lot of. Like this hallway right here that looks like it ends, but the wall is just painted. We are going to clip out of, or not clip out of this room, but walk out of this room. Oh, there we go. Again, using that whole resize mechanic. Something that you kind of saw there is that there was a little ledge grabbing helper in this game. It is quite slow though, so I try not to ledge grab. However, it'll happen at some point like that. That is not what I want to happen here. Oh. There I'm going to do what's called a jump resize. Pretty much you jump and resize a cube under you so that it's bigger when you land. It was originally going to be a concept that was in the base game, but the devs realized that, hey, maybe some people can't do this since it is kind of timing based, so they removed it as a puzzle element, but kept it in the game as a feature. So that is the most of Optical. There is one other room at the very end where I'm going to be grabbing the moon out of the sky, resizing it so it's super small, and then grabbing a elevator that is on top of the moon, or grabbing a doorway that is on top of the moon. So we gotta walk to there first. If there is one thing that is really annoying about this game, it is just how slow you walk. The tech demo for this game, called the Museum of Simulation Technology, does have a sprint button, but that is arguably worse because of how floaty it is. So that's optical. One thing that you'll quickly get to know about this game is that the loading screens are 1 long and 2 random. There's usually a lot of marathon luck involved in which loading screen you get. So this level is called Cubism. It revolves around cubes. You'll notice that there are no cubes so far. Normally there would be a cube that you complete this puzzle with, but that is the only regular cube in the level. The rest of the cubes all have some sort of gimmick to it. So this one is actually a cube that's chopped in half, and this one, it's attached to the ground. Like I said, every level has like a little gimmick. They're all sort of based off the same resize mechanic, but a little gimmicks like only using cubes in the level or something. So those ones you have to drag along the floor and wall. This one is really cool. It breaks apart into its faces, and this one breaks apart into quadrants. This one also breaks the faces, but there's a shaft in the middle. So that is Cubism. You'll notice that a lot of the levels end in this elevator shaft. Again, it's sort of one of those things that connects up the levels. So this level is called Blackout, and you'll very, very quickly realize why. When this game was in development, they wanted each level to basically be like a different genre, and this level would be a horror theme, I guess. And it is, again, very, very easy to see why, as the room just goes completely dark. You'll see later, though, that it really isn't that bad. There's also a fairly large trick later in this level. There's going to be a maze. I'll explain it now since I moved the focus during it. But there will be a maze that is completely dark. Won't be able to see anything, and I will have to navigate it in the dark using audio cues from me walking. It is a little bit difficult to understand, especially if your volume's turned down pretty low. But there are footstep sounds as well as sounds when you land on the floor after falling. So I'll be using those to navigate the maze. So now I have time to raise up my volume by a lot here. Alright, I'm pretty much just gonna be, I'm gonna stay quiet here while I focus on this. Come on. There we go. Not the cleanest I've ever done that section, but that was alright. Again, for not having too much of a warm up plus and not playing in forever. And you'll see all like this quote unquote blood on the ground from the horror theme. When in reality, no, it's not blood. All we have to do is turn on the generator and we'll see that it's just red paint because they're painting the walls. So it's not really horror themed, it's just in your head. Avocado. So at the start of the run, I mentioned that they're going to be introducing a new mechanic, and this is the level where they do so. After the annoyingly long load. This level is called Clone because instead of just moving and resizing objects, we are going to be cloning objects. So this door is the only one that acts semi-normally, and normally in as much of a sense as you can. I have music turned off, that didn't do anything. Normally doing that would change the radio station to some funky music, but I have music turned off. So yeah, so now you can see I just clone that door just by clicking on it, just like how I would grab an object. And that's this whole gimmick about this level, is that you can clone stuff. Annoyingly enough, every single object works differently in terms of how it's cloned. So some of them just clone in place, some of them you get to pick up, some of them, like this one for example. There we go. It is slightly annoying. One thing that I don't think I ever actually mentioned is that it is faster to be jumping up slopes, up and down slopes, just because of how the movement of this game is. That's kind of the only movement type that there is. Everything else is just press W and look at the correct spot. No. It may look like that I just clipped through those blocks, but in reality, when you right-click on cloned objects, it removes all the cloned objects and returns them back to like the source object, I guess there is. And when the objects are moving back to like that source object, then it just removes the collision. It's the only point in the run, the only point in the game where cloning is used. So, bye-bye cloning. This level is called Dollhouse. The whole thing about it is that instead of just resizing objects, we are going to be resizing ourselves using what is essentially portals. This level is pretty notorious for being the hardest level in the run just because of how precise some of the lineups are. So let's hope I don't, let's hope I can remember everything. There you go. So naturally, like the levels, they were going to be using this dollhouse to resize ourselves a little bit and then a lot of it. So now we are very much smaller. And it's actually a little bit too small than I would have liked. So I am going to be losing a little bit of time just from my walking speed. I'm grabbing this radio not just for comedic effect, but because there is actually like a little optimization you can do here. So instead of just walking up this staircase normally, could put down the radio and jump up it like that. I'm pretty sure that I actually lost my time because I had to ledge grab up it, but whatever. Going to be resizing this fan, getting it to knock down. Come on. That was slightly annoying. So is that. There we go, come on. It is not that hard. There we go. Yeah, that a lot of this level is just kind of relying on having all of these little portals and objects work properly. Oh, come on. And this is kind of the This is kind of the run killer for a lot of beginners. Is this bouncy castle? It is fairly easy if you know a lineup for it, but it is very much a run killer for some people. We have our final room of the run. Our final room of the map. Sorry. All right, let's just do this a little bit safer here. There we go. Oh yeah, so when I say that dollhouse is a run killer, that's kind of what I mean. Just a lot of fairly precise tricks back to back to back. One of the longer loading sequences. So this map is called Labyrinth. This is one of the most confusing maps in the game, and it starts off with a dialogue skip. Actually, it starts off with 2 dialogue skips. Let's make sure I could actually get those. That looked fine, although I don't exactly remember. Pretty much we are jumping over... Pick up the can, please. We are jumping over dialogue triggers. That play lines of dialogue. So there we go. I definitely know I got that second one. However, that first one is still... We'll see. It's a little bit confusing. And I'm going to... Oh, okay. Looks like I didn't get that first one, unfortunately. I'm going to be doing a lineup with my crosshair because when we teleport, our camera angle will not be reset. So that'll just very quickly allow me to go and hit that alarm clock. Oh, that's right. Gotta go over here. I'm forgetting things. So this is really when the labyrinth part comes in. You'll notice that there's a lot of black screens, a lot of teleportation, a lot of places, a lot of spots where the game just wants you to kind of figure it out. So it is fairly confusing in that sense. There are a lot of spots where you think that the level is just repeating itself, or that the level's going to end soon, when in reality it just isn't. See, I'm going to quickly hit that door so I can save a little bit of time to wait for this animation. And do a little bit more walking. Might as well activate the dialogue even though it does nothing. Oh, come on. There we go. I have to open up the floor there. So this is a fairly confusing puzzle. Casually, this next one. In fact, this was a puzzle that I had a little bit of trouble with. Pretty much, you have to look the opposite way of whatever the signs tell you first. And then turn it the other way. It's fairly confusing. I see a lot of people... Oh, I messed up. Oh no. I need to do it again. I think I did left, right instead of left, right, left. There we go. See, maybe I am gonna hit estimate. Just a simple jump resize for that cube. Oh no, that coin didn't do anything. That's because it's a painting. Haha. little things with this game. Alright, cool, that worked. I am surprised. Standing on top of rotating objects is kind of weird in this game. I'm kind of surprised that it let me let me jump off that easily. Oh, I am forgetting. Oh no, I am forgetting things. Oh no. Hey, hold on, let's try returning to checkpoint. I accidentally moved forward instead of turning right immediately. There we go. So that elevator has like a full maze to it. However, there is a distinct pattern, if you know it. The pattern is left, right, left. Sorry, right, left, right, right. I am forgetting things. Right, right, left, right, right, right. And there we go. We hit that clock and that actually ends the level. So here we have the second to last level of the game, but by all accounts the actually last level of the game, because the actual last level is 1 second long. So for all intents and purposes, this is the last level of the game. It is mostly W. There is a whole lot of nothing to do here, except for waiting cutscenes. Basically, if you didn't catch what we just did at the start here, we basically put a portal through itself, which caused a paradox. So now we are entering what is the white space because of it. And in a couple rooms, you'll notice that I'm going to do a checkpoint reset. Basically, when I walked through that portal earlier in the level, it actually didn't set my size. The game didn't set my player size to 1. It set my player size to 0.99. So if I reset the checkpoint, it'll reset my size back to 1, saving me exactly 2 whole seconds. And that is how you save 2 seconds in a speedrun. There will be, for tech's sake, there will be a fairly loud noise after I transition here, so might want to keep track on volume. Right here. There we go. And that's it. That's the noise. Yeah, there are also a lot of parts in this level that seem a lot like mazes that might be questioned that you don't know where to go, but this level is fairly intuitive compared to the last level. There is really only one way that you can go. There's always like a door that you can see. There's always somewhere that the game tells you to go. This puzzle here is actually pretty cool. You can pick up the window that you just went through and use it as a cube. Alright. So once we hit this light switch here, the real fun begins with this level. So far, the level's pretty much been entirely holding W and looking. Once we hit this light switch, there will be some gameplay, which is really fun. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Cool. And even though it might look like they're still just holding W and hoping, I promise you there's gameplay. This next room, there's going to be a puzzle with chess pieces. I'm going to be doing something called One Piece. Not that One Piece, I promise. Where I use the chess pieces plus jumping to basically skip part of the puzzle. Not skip the puzzle, but do it in a more optimized way. Basically, these chess blocks, these squares aren't solid unless there's a chess piece on them. See, this room might mess me up. I'm going to do what's called cheese skip. Behind that door, there is a block of cheese. Oh, okay. I missed the door, but I got the checkpoint, which is good enough. You are allowed to checkpoint reset if you've gotten a checkpoint. You go around, fall down the staircase area. Rest in peace bitrate. I promise it's not that bad. I'm going to grab this cube, drop it above our head just to be safe. Because if I drop it below, down here, then there's a chance that I could get soft locked. Get ready on time. Time will be after I click the alarm clock in the next level, which will be almost a second after the loading time ends. So let's see, I'll really show you. So here's where this level ends, white space, and time. And that was the last level retrospect. Technically, there's a whole big cutscene here, but that's not a part of the run. Who cares? So yeah, that is Superliminal Glitchless. It is a fairly simple run. Most of it is just optimization and knowing where to go. It's a fairly simple game as well. It's a very fun game if you haven't played it. I didn't really skip much of the puzzle stuff. Once you see the speed run, you pretty much know the entire game. But I had the dialogue muted, so if you care about lore, then you might want to play the game. It's a very fun game, a lot of great dialogue that I have muted just for focusing purposes. Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
All right. So we'll be back in a few moments with some potatoes, right?
With a little bit.
A little bit of potatoes.
I'll be cooking.
And a little bit of a British guy. Be cooking. Ooh.
I'll be cooking.
Making lemonade?
No.
No lemonade. Okay.
Actually,
we'll be right back.
Blackberry juice, actually.
Blackberry juice. Okay. We'll be back.
feeling hopeless till you came around, came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing highs, chasing highs. What is love?